Now to begin here, we need to open up our 3D World Studio program where we will create our little golf course. Something nice and simple. Now let's select a little texture. Let's select this one here. Abstract texture made out of vectors. So here's the center. What I'm going to do is zoom out up here and create something with a larger grid size, about that kind of size. And over here I'm going to create something like this, about that kind of size. One more over here like this, and yeah, I think we'll stick with that for now. So let's now increase the height of these a little bit, and let's make this one higher up in space. Make this one a little bit higher up as well. And finally, we're going to add a little terrain to our level, and we'll create it nice and small at a low resolution. Doesn't have to be anything wonderful. Width, about that width will do. Now let's get a closer look at it. Let's decrease our brush size. Now this is going to sculpt the terrain to the size we need. Now let's just bump a few of these sides up. Now if this doesn't work effectively on your view, you can simply, oops, looks like I've made a mistake. We've got to move this window out of the way whilst doing this. Now I've got to find out where I am. That's better. Now if you have trouble using this sculpt system like I just did, you can also paint in 2D viewports. So if you don't see this icon in the 3D view, just use the 2D viewport and you should be able to paint. In this situation it seems to work just fine, but sometimes it gives you a little bit of trouble. Now I'm going to raise this side up a little bit here, and that will do for our, let's do something interesting here. Let's add a little layer to our texture. No need to name it anything, and let's make the higher end of the terrain this tone. Let's select the paint tool first, and let's apply first. There we go. Yeah, give it that kind of effect. You could use this in a real terrain to produce rocks blended into grass, but here we're just giving it a little abstract effect, nothing special. Now I'm gonna place our start position here and our hole over there. So let's select this and make it hollow. Set it to 64 units, and let's get rid of the top. Let's press Ctrl U to ungroup and get rid of the top part. Tidy this up a little bit. Scroll this down here. Let's make the walls a different texture, and make this box purple. And let's, since we're going to start here, we need to place our entity. Now if you remember correctly from the first video, we created our entity in this file here, which you can locate in your options screen. Here it's displayed as this file here, entity file. So you simply open that file and create your entities. So what I'll do is I'll select the start position, start position, and I'll place it right here and drag it into, yeah, and a little bit higher. Gotta zoom in a little bit, place it higher, too low. There we go. That's our start position. Now we need to advance through here, so let's carve a little hole through this wall. Select our cylinder and make it select the cylinder properly. There we go. Place it right here and press the carve button and delete the cylinder. Now get it through here, let it roll onto this surface here. What I'll do is I'll lower this down, and I will in fact need to make a wall so the ball is kept into play. I'll make this hollow, ungroup, Control U, remove this part and remove this part here, and extend this part here across, and you'll select the bottom half of this and just seal off the map a little bit. No need to really perfect this because we're simply demonstrating how we can create levels. So our little ball needs to go through here and onto the terrain. I'll delete that wall and I'll create a little wedge somewhere over here. Select the wedge, drag somewhere here like, oops, did it again, drag somewhere here like that, and then adjust accordingly. It's quite fiddly on here. Bring it here like that and rotate it around. No, Chris, that was fine as it was. Right, let's shrink it down. Up a little bit. So now I'm not going to spend too long on this. We need to conclude this video, so let's get the end area. Let's raise it down a little bit here. Get it hollow. Select the hollow tool. I'm going to delete. I'm going to move this actually over to the right a little bit, and I'm going to remove this wall. Control U to ungroup, and I'm going to place a hole in here. So let's increase the height of this block here, make it a different material, and I'm going to bore a hole through it. Nice big hole just to demonstrate this easily without having to struggle to get the ball in. So let's select our cylinder, give it 8 sides will do. Let's place our cylinder somewhere in the corner. No. Right there. Let's make this smaller. You might want to make this smaller in your game, however I'm just simply doing this for testing purposes. Now let's carve that through. Press the carve button. Now we have a hole in the floor. Let's make the hole a different color by pressing the X key in the keyboard clicking on each face with the control key held down. Let's make this easily distinguishable. We'll make it blue. Okay. Now let's make sure the ball actually gets into this place nice and easily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this terrain slightly. I'm going to smooth this bit out a bit, and I'm going to sculpt this part here. That should work. I should be able to get the ball in there without messing up. Let's make it a little bit more easier for myself. Create a wall over here to make sure that the ball goes where I want it to go. Extend this way. I'm going to raise this down. It might look untidy over here, but I don't really care right now. We're just simply demonstrating how to create a golf course. I won't seal off the rest of the map. I'll leave the design just like this, and I won't bother to create any lights or anything. We'll just simply leave it like this. No lights. Let's now place our whole entity. I'll select you there, and I'll pick the entity from the list, whole position, and I'll zoom into view and place it right in the middle here. Raise it up to the bottom of the hole, and as you can see, we have the entity in position. So now when the ball goes into the hole, once it goes near to this entity, we will finish the level. So let's see if we can complete this course. I've already saved it as test course.3dw. Let's export the DBO file. Test course, and let's see the result.